Okay, so tonight we're going to be installing a Comp Cam's 2746-9 cam in my 1990 Dodge Dakota. In this box is some Mopar Performance lifters. I have roller rockers in this box from Comp Cams. The reason I'm going with these instead of the roller rockers from Hardened that I have already is that these are 1.6 to 1 ratio. Those are 1.7 to 1 ratio. I can't use the 1.7 to 1 because the cam that I have would cause me to have too much lift and I'll probably have interference issues. So yeah, comes with pushrods, roller rockers, pushrod guides, and the studs and everything that comes with those roller rockers to install. I've got some intake bolts. I've got valve spring locks and retainers, and then the valve springs right here from Hughes Engines, and yeah, that's it. I'm gonna go and show you the motor now. So this is the motor right now. So yeah, you can tell it's not red anymore, it's purple and very oversprayed. I got new valve covers coming in the mail, and I'm going to be repainting the oil pan, so in case anyone gives me crap about that. Right now we're taking the heads and intake off so we can not only get the valve springs installed, but also lifters and push rods and all that fun stuff. Got the intake off. I've got all the rocker arms off of this side. Sam is unbolting the head on that side. Once he's done unbolting that, then I'll get the head off. I mean, I guess I don't really have to get the rockers off of that one, but I probably will. So Sam and I got the heads off. Got a good coating of assembly lube on the mating surfaces on both of them. And then, so this is the motor. We got it all covered up. Keep dust and everything away. We're going to call it quits tonight. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to remove a valve spring. It's pretty easy. The tool really sucks though, especially trying to do this with my hand. Basically, you're going to see there's 4 legs here. These 2 outer legs are what clamp onto the spring. The other 2 go onto the actual retainer of the spring. Yeah, this is going to be pretty impossible for me to do with one hand. Basically, the basis of it, you get it on there, get it on the spring, then you tighten it down. It'll push down the valve, or push down the retainer, and then you just basically take the keepers out with a magnet. Alright, so you can see that it's been tightened up, the valve has been compressed. In here, oops, you'll see the retainers, or the keepers, sorry. Basically I've got a magnet right here. I just grab them with the magnet. Alright, so I removed them with the magnet. Basically go in there with the magnet, grab them like that, and then grab both of them. Once that's done, you can lift the spring off, and then your valve is ready to be pulled. So today I'm going to be installing the heads on my block. These are the new heads. My old heads were cracked, so I had to actually buy new ones. I bought Engine Quest heads. I just bought bare castings because my valves were alright. I had valve springs and retainers and everything. This is what they are. I have my left bank all scraped. I'm going to wipe it down with some brake clean and everything, and then I'm going to install the head gasket. Alright, so I have the head on. It's not fully torqued down yet. I thought I'd show you guys kind of what to do first. Basically, you're going to have a torque sequence. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then you're supposed to do 3 increments all the way up to 105 foot-pounds. And then these are torque to yield, so I believe they're supposed to have a quarter turn after that. I'm going to make sure before I do it all, but I'm pretty sure it's a quarter turn after. Alright, so both heads are on now. I've got them both torqued down. I did recheck that, and I did not find anything about turning it a quarter turn or anything like that. So I torqued them to 105 foot-pounds. The sequence that I said before, basically just make sure that the mating surfaces are clean, everything like that. There's not any deep gouges or anything like that. Make sure that the gasket's on there in the correct orientation. And yeah, that's about it. Alright, so I'm taking out the cam now. The one thing that you need to be very cognizant of is the orientation of the cam. I already took the gear off and everything, but make sure that the dots line up and that your number 1 piston is in top dead center. Yeah, basically the only way you'll be able to tell that is either by putting your finger in the spark plug hole, seeing whenever it's at the top, and then making sure that your dots line up. Mine happen to line up, so I'm just going to take off that thrust plate, which is this guy here. It's 1/2-inch bolts. You just unbolt them. They shouldn't be extremely tight. Take them off, and then your cam should just slide out. And when you're taking it out, be careful to not damage your bearings. Alright, so I'm going to be installing the cam now. Basically what you want to do is you want to get a engine assembly lube. You want to smear it all over this. Make sure you coat absolutely everything, especially if you're not going to be starting it right away. And then basically the cam accepts the old keyway from your other cam and the bolt. So I attach the bolt on there for a little more leverage whenever you're at the end to get it in there without scratching up everything. Alright, so the cam's installed. I just hand tightened on the front cover bolts. I'm going to tighten them down once I get all the lifters in there and all situated. Basically, you look and you'll see kind of a greenish film on the lobes. That's the cam lube. You should make sure that you can actually spin the cam once it's in there, which I can, obviously. And now I'm just going to put the lifters in there and then put the timing chain and gears on there, the timing set, sorry. Alright, so today I'm putting on my roller rockers from Comp Cams. They're 1.6 to 1. I got the full kit, so it comes with the Hardened Pushrods and the plates. Basically, what you gotta do, I'm done with number 1 here, but you're supposed to go the firing order. Since mine's a small block Mopar, it's 1/8. I don't know exactly the entire firing order, that's why I'm looking it up. But basically, you spin the motor over until the exhaust and intake valves close on the cam, so that the cam's on the base circle, and then you're gonna basically adjust the valve lash to 0 and then do a 1/2 turn after that on the nub. Alright, so I'm on my very last rocker here, and I was going to explain kind of what I need to do. So you'll see that I can move this back and forth, and it's pretty easy to spin. Sorry, you can't really see much. But I can spin the push rod pretty easy. So basically, what you're going to want to do is you're going to tighten that nut, which is, I believe it's 5/8. Yep, 5/8. You're going to tighten that guy down until you feel no movement this way, and it gets a little tighter to turn. And that's going to be your indicator that it's going to be good. That's going to be 0 lash, and then you're going to go another half turn. What I do is I say my ratchet's here. I do from here to here. Once it's there, then you're good. You're all set. These are not the lock nut style. If you look at the actual nut, it's kind of like there's an oblong look to it. It's because they dent the side of the nut, so it actually pinches onto the threads quite well. So try not to back these out too many times, because they do lose their ability to actually lock down. And you don't want to do that while you're running the motor and have a rocker fall off. That's about it. I'm going to finish this up, throw the valve covers on, and then call it a night for tonight. Alright, so I've got my engine bay kind of prepped for paint. I scuffed all the surfaces with Scotch-Brite pad. This is not going to be a professional paint job by any means, obviously. But I just want it to be one solid color and not yellow, black, gray, silver, all sorts of different colors. So I'm going to be painting it probably black. Alright, so I just put some paint on. This is probably like 2 coats. It is not the most perfect paint job, as you can probably see the roughness, all this other crap, but honestly I just wanted it to be one color. For me, that's all that I really wanted. So this is this is 2 coats here. I basically just rattle canned it on. It's not the perfect paint job. It's got some shine in it, and that's all that I really care for. Yeah. Alright, so it's finally back in. Boy, was that a pain in the butt. I actually had my girlfriend help me install it. I first tried to install the engine without the transmission, which proved to be impossible to get the transmission in, so I had to remove it, attach the transmission, and then shoehorn it in there. It resulted in a few dents, but I don't care. It's in. It's finally in again. All bolted to the transmission mounts, engine mounts, and now all I gotta do is put the accessories back on and the wiring. I need to tidy up the wiring a bit, but I believe that concludes the engine removal, paint, cam swap, and heads. So that'll be it. Hope you guys enjoyed.